Good evening, everyone. My name is LJ. Welcome to Spurs Chat. It's the day after the North London derby. I was going to do a post straight after, but I was so angry, annoyed. Not at the performance, to be fair, but at the result. I've seen a lot of stuff on social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, absolutely slating the performance. Ange out, Levy out. So I'm just going to give you my opinion. First half, thought we played well, decent football, totally control of the game. I actually wish that Rice and Odegaard had started now, because would they have come out a bit more? I don't know, because last year they didn't, did they? But I thought we were in total control, but it was the final third yet again. Do I want Ange out, like a lot of people are saying today? Not yet. I can see improvements in our defending, in our passing and moving. It's just, as I said, that final third. But I will say, he's not totally not to blame, Ange. He says from his own mouth, I will not have any players here that I don't want here. Right, this system, in my opinion, relies on wingers. Good wingers. World-class wingers, to be fair. So he gave the go-ahead to re-sign Werner on loan. He wanted Odegaard. He was willing to spend 50 million or whatever it was on Brennan Johnson. None of them are good enough. I'm not going to hate on Brennan Johnson, but on my last YouTube video, I said I'd start him on the bench, and I think I was proved right. But why is it that when the defence is here, he will stand here? Surely he's got to be on the shoulder of the fullback so the ball can be played, and then his speed should get him to that byline to whip it in. But he didn't look confident, hardly ever took the fullback on. Sonny, again, I can't remember him taking the fullback on. Werner, Jesus, he was awful, wasn't he? And nearly gave Arsenal another goal when he'd done that stupid crossfield ball. What was he thinking? So there, I do blame Ange for those signings. Odegaard, or however you pronounce it, showed flashes and at least crossed the ball in from not just the byline, from different areas. But again, not enough for me at running at the fullback. We should have just said to Richarlison, because you cannot rely on Richarlison. He's made of glass, as I said before. He's injured, that he's back, and he's back. If you'd have said to him during the summer, look mate, we've had an offer from Saudi for 60 million. You're not going to play in this team. You're never going to play in this team. We're accepting the offer. He would have gone. 60 million, go out, buy Eze. That's one of your wingers. Straight away. And he's not just a winger. He can do other things. Score out of nothing. He could be the key that can unlock these defences. We all know that. So, yeah. Or do they go to Ange with a list and say, you've got to pick, here's what we can do for you. These are a list of wingers. I don't think it works like that. I think he identified these players. He said that he identified Johnson before. I don't want to get on his case, because apparently he's turned off his social media account, which is wrong. He's too far. But he's just not got it yet, has he? Hasn't quite got it yet. But all the hate and the going over the top I've seen today, I had to re-watch a bit of the match, to be honest, because I thought, is it just me going old and senile? They played well, Spurs, first half. They actually did. Okay, Arsenal let us have possession. Not all the time they didn't. We won it in their final third numerous times, but again, it was that final third. It's rubbish. Solanke, people are even slating him already. Look, he didn't look like a well beat yesterday, but he hasn't played in about a month, 6 weeks. His hold up play against two class centre backs was very good, in my opinion. Very good. But he looks a bit gun shy, maybe a bit rusty. Should have scored, or at least got it on target with that chance. But Ange's got to do something about his final third. There were numerous occasions where the wrong ball was played. And this sideways passing is ridiculous. Why are you passing it from the right to the left? And it's taking 4 passes. If you're playing against a low block, but if you do it and you do them 4 passes, they're just going to move over this side, move over that side. Sometimes you've got to switch the play of one ear. Do it that way, do it that way. Pull them away, pull them around. We make it easy. And then you take Maddison off. He's getting slated as well. He's supposed to be a creator. He done nothing. Listen, when both of our fullbacks go inverted, the midfield becomes congested. So Maddison is looking where to pass it, and he can only do 5-10 yard passes. He needs forward players and midfield players that are running beyond to move. But they're like statues. It's like they don't want it. Are they scared to miss? I don't know what it is. Is it a mentality thing? Or is it because they're just not world-class players? And then he took him off and put Sarr on. I do not understand that at all. What are you thinking? I think that was a substitution. Anyway, I can't remember who Werner come on for. Or was it Werner that come on for? I can't remember. But he doesn't put players on to change the game, you know, because he hasn't got a plan B. So he just putting players on that are going to be more fresh to hope that your plan A works, because that's the only plan you've got. Regarding the goal, yeah, I do blame Romero, but, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Spurs fan, he got pushed. That's a foul. That's simple as that. If Gabriel or Saliba had got pushed by Romero in their box, they would have hit the deck. The goal would have gone in. They'd have checked it on VAR. That would have been disallowed. 1,000,000%. And that surprised me with Romero. I thought he was a bit clued up. Apart from that, I thought he had a good game. But also, Vicario has got to come out and make that ball his, but he couldn't. Because I think it was Maddison, but there was definitely a Spurs player blocking Vicario's path out. Okay, so Vicario maybe should have come out and pushed it, but it's not as easy as that in the heat of the moment. Set pieces are rubbish. They've actually done a lot better on set pieces, corners this season. It might not have always looked great, but I think that was our first goal that we conceded from the set piece. So you didn't have to allow that, in my opinion. But I think there was a few faults there. It's one thing protecting Vicario, but if you're going to stop him coming out, that's another thing. And Romero, even though he got pushed, he should have still back and got his man, but it should have been in the foul, in my opinion. Who else? Kivaleski looked bright, but again didn't play the final ball, the correct final ball. Bentancur sort of just, I don't know, breezed through the game. I don't think it suits him actually, that number 6. I thought it did, but I don't think it does. He can make things happen further up, in my opinion. So yeah, I think we actually did miss Bissouma, who's been quite decent this season. Udogie started well, got a yellow card for nothing. Then went into shell a bit, probably because of that yellow card. Porro, a lot of energy, high intense energy as usual. No end product. Van der Ven at the back, brilliant. But no, I think we're just going to have to maybe suck it and see until January the way things are going to the next window. Because I can't see how, that just shows you how poor Everton are that we banged 4 past them. They must be rubbish. absolute rubbish, because we haven't looked like scoring in any other games, have we? But I do think that we haven't got the points in the bag, what we should have for the performances. But then again, I suppose you could say, well, we're crap up front, and we actually are. I'm hoping that Solanke will make the difference, but I'm not sure. We've got to be fair to him. You know, he hasn't played for so long. He's going to be a bit rusty. So when that ball came across to him and we won it in the final third, he took a touch where I think an informed Solanke would have just tried to bend it in. So we'll have to wait and see. But again, there was not a lot of players in the box anyway. And they seemed to be ignoring Johnson a lot of the time. There was another shot I see where Kuvalevski was here and Johnson could have been played in, but he ignored him. Porro ignored him a few times. I don't know if that's because they haven't got any confidence in Johnson, but something is going on there. But Angie's got to come up with a plan B, innit? But the question I want to ask you lot out there is, if Ange starts with Gray, excuse me, and Bergvall against Coventry, and they have a blinding game, will he start them against Brentford? What have you got to lose? Because Bergvall, we know, probably could unlock defences. I'd start with Solanke against Coventry, because hopefully he'll get a goal, maybe two, and then might get his confidence up again. But if we can't break Coventry down, because no doubt the Coventry manager would have looked at this, because that's their job at the end of the day. Let's do a low block. You'd expect us to have a lot of possession against Coventry anyway. So it's going to be very interesting. The pressure on as the minutes tick by. It's going to become a mental thing, because I think already there's a mental block in our forwards and wingers. I do think that they're trying to almost score the perfect goal instead of just shooting. Not many shots from outside the box. Kuvalevski had a good one, didn't he, right at the end? But I can see Coventry just frustrating us, isn't it, in this on the break. We should beat them though. And then is it Brentford next? They're by no means a pushover. Everyone's saying, oh, we'll beat Coventry, we'll beat Brentford. Brentford gave Man City a serious run for their money. Yeah, I think it was last week, wasn't it? So yeah, the jury is out on Ange. A lot more noise for him to be out. But I think you've got to give him a bit more time. Maybe see what the January window brings. I know it's notoriously a slow window, but he can't persevere with these winners. Son doesn't attack anyone anymore. Johnson doesn't attack anyone anymore. Werner, rubbish. Was when Werner came on, I thought, well, a lot of people were moaning about it, I know, but I thought, well, at least he'll knock it past the fullback and have a go at him. No, not really. Is there anyone else from the under-21s? Mikey Moore, is he available? Is he injured? Or I don't know. Maybe give him a go, see how he gets on. I hope he does start with, if he's fit, I hope he starts with him. I hope he starts with Bergvall and Gray, I really do. But yeah, the pressure is definitely on Big Ange. Do you want him out? Or do you want him to stay? Is it all his fault? Or is it Levy's? It looks to me, from the outside, as that Levy has backed him. But it looks like he's bought the wrong players at the minute, doesn't it? 65 million on Solanke, 50 million on Johnson. That's a lot of money, a lot of dough. They've got to go into that team and be outstanding, really, don't they? See, I do understand the rebuild, and half my mind is saying, look, it's a rebuild. He is getting back, it's a rebuild. But I think when you're doing a proper rebuild, you've still got to buy, like every window, at least 2 players that can walk straight into your first 11. The only player that's walked into ours is Solanke. So Angie's got some serious thinking to do. And I'm actually dreading Wednesday now. Even though the performances have been decent, and I'm not going to overreact. Like I've seen a lot. Hence, like I said, I didn't do the video after Sunday because I'd have probably been one of them. But the only thing missing for me, even though it's a big thing, is the final third. I think the football is okay. I do honestly think that the defending's been okay. I thought we made Arsenal look quite ordinary yesterday. Okay, they had 2 players missing, but I thought we made them look quite ordinary on the last game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I know we was 3-0 down, but we were playing all right. And I think, if anything, we was better defensively in open play anyway against Arsenal yesterday than we was last season. I can see improvements. It's just the final third, and I don't honestly know how Ange can fix that. Maybe tell Johnson and that to get on the shoulder. You've got the pace. He's very fast. But also get a plan B. We've got to be a plan B. It's not a long one today, because my brain's fried after watching loads of videos, loads of podcasts, and the Ange bashing, the Levy bashing, which I can understand, don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot. So, let's wait till Wednesday, and wait till after the weekend, and see where we are then. Because I said in my last video that the Arsenal game was a marker for me, a big marker to see exactly where we are under Ange. So I'll stick with that and say work in progress. If the front third was clicking, I think we'd be alright. And I don't think we're far away, but I just don't think we've got the personnel to change it immediately. So Ange's got a lot of pressure between now and Christmas, and I think if we go out of the Carabao Cup on Wednesday, because I'm having these nightmares of not being able to break them down, we go out on penalties, and then that is it. But I think he's under a lot of pressure. A lot of what he's brought on himself, not just the signings, which I don't think have been good enough in terms of Werner, Odegaard, Johnson, but by what he's saying. I will win something this season. We will push for the title. He's put the pressure on himself. Has he underestimated the Premier League? Well, if he has, that's a silly thing to do. Because I'll stick by what I said before, and any half-decent manager, Premier League manager with this team squad, would have us challenging, and I firmly believe that. So, let's just wait and see. Come on, you Spurs.